We keeps it real, expressing how we feel. Whoa. So come on in and sip some tea. Join the Kourtney family. We're about relationships and review, making it fun just for you. Go with God, let God go with you. It's time for Kourtney and Eddie.
I always put God first.
Hey, you guys, I am back to do another review on Heart and Hustle Houston. Oh, it's such a tongue twister. So if you're brand new to this channel and can't subscribe yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Hit it. And yeah, let's get to discussing about this. Now, I think this may be episode 6. And I noticed that they said they're doing 2 more episodes, so they're most gonna have a season of 8 episodes. So we're getting down to it. Again, I appreciate those that have been watching and commenting and say that y'all like the show. I haven't just seen it on my video, but I've seen it on other people on social media, like the own. They've been sharing clips and stuff like this, so people have really been liking this show. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like for next season, if they're going to go to a new city or what, but it really is giving very authentic relationships with women, so we love to see it. So let's get into it. So Alaina is taking the girls to do pole dancing. Now, I wanted to do pole dancing. I know that people say it's kind of hard because you're lifting so much of your body weight up. But yeah, I definitely want to try the pole dance. And so I thought that the first lady was Labrina, but I guess she was the host. So they doing it. Chloe is so funny, honey. She was like, "Ooh, child," and Latoya, she was like, "Girl, I can't do this." And but it seemed like Ro and Alaina, honey, they done been there before, child. They done been there before, so they was doing it. And then when the girl threw out that little fake money, oh, they was really. So I think that I heard that it's good exercise, so it's good for your body, especially your upper strength and stuff like that. And come to find out that Alaina said that she had a pole in one of her bedrooms, so she definitely is a veteran at this, child, a veteran. So I think that pole dancing is sexy. I think that it's good for your body, your upper strength and stuff like that. So yeah, if y'all didn't know that, it is told on the last video, I broke my fourth toe last night. Ugh, imagine that. Never broke a toe, never broke nothing, my body part. But yeah, broke my toe and had to go to the ER last night and stuff like that. So yeah, pray for my big toe, for my fourth toe, child. It be super fast healing in Jesus' name. And I don't got time. I need to be standing up doing stuff. So, um, I think that was Latoya said that Labrina set her up on a blind date, honey. So, she finna see what it's about. He's supposed to be a cowboy and all that stuff. So, I think that was Chloe saying, okay, you know what I'm saying? So, kind of like what what you like, salt and pepper and stuff like that. And she was like, I don't want no pop. And she was like, girl, wait a minute. Salt and pepper don't necessarily mean pop, child, because you got men that are very mature and that got salt and pepper, i.e. my husband, child. She didn't say that. I'm saying that for me, my husband. That's was one thing that I was so attracted to him that drawed me was his salt and pepper. Like, you a certain age, a grown man, and you still dyeing your beard and you in your 40s and 50s, that's a problem to me. I.e. Steve Harvey. Ain't no way, like on what is it? Family Feud, ain't no way that Steve Harvey is still got black hair. Now I don't know what he like when he on the radio show or wherever he at, but he needs to let that black simmer down and let the gray come on out, because you dying and it really looks like you 90. And I don't understand why men don't understand that you don't look how you think you look. You don't look youthful at all. You just don't look youthful. So when you bring that salt and pepper out, what they call them, silver foxes, when you had that salt and pepper mix, chef's kiss. It just looks so like classy on a man. If they wear it well, it looks very prestige. It looks very je ne sais quoi. That's what, like I said, that's what attracted me to my husband, because I never really truly was into bald men. It really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So, some men like, ooh, some women like, ooh, he got to be bald. That wasn't the case. It wasn't his bald head. It really was that salt and pepper. It When they said clacky, it really and truly was that. Now, my ex-husband, I was trying to at that time tell him to, hey, let the gray come in, but he still wanted to go to the CVS and get the dye. Child. Ooh, child. Anyway, so let's move on. So, Alaina got her studio space. So she invited Latoya, not Latoya. She invited Latoya Lockett from Destiny's Child to because she is one of her clients, so she was there, and of course, she had some time to film and stuff like that. So Alaina was saying that, Latoya always gives her good advice. So she was letting her know that, hey, we still sleeping in separate bedrooms. She was like, girl, y'all still doing that? How long y'all gonna do that? Y'all don't hug, no smooching, no nothing. And she was like, So Alaina was just saying too that they not gonna come together until what Josh did, like until I guess she get over what he did. So production was like, what did he do? She was like, I'm not really ready to talk about that and expose that. I said, well, why are we talking about this? I just don't like when people, like, this is reality television. And maybe they saving that to get to the end, but this is reality television, which you're supposed to show all of your life. Don't bring it to us if you don't want us to know. Don't bring it to the public for the public to speculate what this man did, which probably cheated. You know what I'm saying? But what if he didn't cheat? Now we speculating that he cheated when that's not even the case. You know what I'm saying? So what trust did he break? Did he steal from you? Did he take money out your account? Like, what trust did he break? Did he talk to somebody like in just conversation that he wasn't supposed to talk to, still talking to an ex, or still chatting with an old friend, girlfriend that he not supposed to, but it's very platonic. Like, what did he do? So it's like me bringing you food and say you can't eat it. Just look at it. Like that. I think that's crazy. So she not ready to expose what he did, but we talking about what he did without talking about what he did, if that makes sense. No, it don't. Alaina, you need to be more transparent, girl. Stop the foolishness. Don't be like, well, I don't want to talk about it, but I want y'all to get into it and stuff like that, but I don't really want to talk about it. Now that man probably getting ate up in the comment section. What you do to that? But you cheated. Now people, the public, are speculating, because we gonna speculate. Because 9 times out of 10, we think that it's cheating. So we gonna come up with our own conclusion. That's why it's better for you to tell us what he did, so we can just go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off and deal with that, than for us, the public, to speculate what he did. Not wise. Let's see. The Latoya said that, y'all need to do couples counseling, because Alaina was like, well, he doing individual counseling. Listen, let the man do individual counseling, but also, yes, couples counseling. But to me, in my opinion, I think he need to do individual counseling, because if he is cheating or has cheated, then to me, that's an individual thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's within himself, why he does not feel like one woman is enough, or why he feels like he has to go step outside when whatever get hard. See, us again speculating. And I can say this for me. When it came to my former marriage, I really and truly got me together. And that's what ended the marriage. Because once I got me together, then I said, oh no, this can't work. Baby, I am destroying my life. This is toxic as hell. And I knew it was toxic, but I didn't know to what point that it was so super toxic for me. Even though I had a whole bunch of signs, child. I had fibromyalgia. I was so stressed in my body that I used to suffer with fibromyalgia. And I did that for months. Now, some people suffer with it for years, but let me tell you something. God is a healer and a deliverer. And I tell you, God told me what to do, and that was to separate from that man that I was with at that time, which was the ex-husband. I don't like to say my ex-husband. I may say that to y'all, but when I'm in conversation, I say the ex-husband because I don't want a my or my tied to anything of my former. I don't like to say my ex. I don't not a my. I have no qualms. I've forgiven. I've moved on, but I know that that is still toxic. So I stay over here where it's peace and love and light and liberty than to sit up there and say my to nothing that's toxic. So the ex-husband that I was married to, when I got me together is when I filed for divorce 2 years later. And the reason is because a person don't know their worth, they don't know their value, they don't know them. And once they know them and who they are, what they want, their worth and stuff, then they can make better decisions for their life. And that's why I said that what's his name, Josh, he could still be having a little boy syndrome if he cheated, because we're doing speculation. If he cheated, he needs to deal with him first. Couples counseling, okay, yeah, but then it's still gonna go to him. If he the reason, if he the problem, if he the source, you know what I'm saying? So he the one staying in another room that he gonna come back into the room with you. So he the problem. So him need to get him some good therapy. That's why I agree but disagree with Latoya and what she said, because this man need his own individual therapy. Because when I got therapized with me and Jesus, if you know the story, you know the story. God took me on a journey with I was I woke up at about 3:30 in the morning, met God in my living room at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday for 3 months, well, January to March, and of a brand new year. And we did some soul search. We dealt with my daddy issues. We dealt with my insecurity. We dealt with me not feeling this, that. We dealt with all of that. We dealt with all of that. When I came out of that place and space, because I had to feel a release from God to do so. When I came out of there, my life changed. And I said, God, if he ever cheat on me this time, I'm gone. Even though I know God said, girl, I done heard that before. But my soul was different. My spirit was different. Me was different. I knew my worth. And when it happened, I was gone. But it took 2 years later because nothing happened in between that time. It wasn't like I was saying, oh, I'm forgetting this, that, no. When the girl called my phone, and ain't no side chick ever called my phone. When the girl called my phone, that's when it was over. That's when it was over. And when she called my phone and said that, I said, oh, baby girl, you can have him. I'm out, deuces. So that's what it took for me. Because in my previous marriage, we did couples counseling. But you, even when you get counseling, you got to be honest. You got to be truthful. You got to be real. You can't be lying to the therapist, because the therapist is there to help you. That they shouldn't be there to judge you. But anyway, all right. So but yeah, that's why I disagree with her on that. So Latoya, she meets up with her therapist. And she basically, I think it was her dad's, I guess it'd been a 1 year anniversary since he passed away. And she said her dad was her best friend. I don't know what happened to her mom. I would love to know that. She said her dad was a single parent. So I don't know if her mom passed away maybe when she was young, and her dad was all she had. And it seems like he had a heart attack, and she was in the room, like she went to the room and seen her dad, laying there with his eyes open, and realized he had a heart attack. So she was the first person to see him dead. And I can't imagine that. That's traumatizing alone. You know what I'm saying? And so, she tears up about that, because she was like, I don't have nobody. I do everything for other people, the job, the this, the that, my clients and stuff like that. But I don't have nobody here for me. I don't have that. So the therapist was saying, well, when was the last time you was in a relationship? And she said, it's been a long time. And in fact, she said, I've never had the luxury of somebody courting me. I'd have had dudes in my inbox. I'm like, ooh. And she said, but they like got 1 tooth and stuff like that. So she really and truly wants to, be in a relationship with somebody. And she was telling the therapist that Labrina is set her up on a blind date. And Latoya said that, she knows she wifey material. And the therapist like, I agree. And I had just said this, y'all. I get it. If you want to be a single woman, you want to be single for the rest of your life, and you never want to be in a relationship or have a significant other or have a life partner and stuff. I get it. That's you. But I can say for me, I didn't get married because child, I just wanted to have somebody to be with me for the rest of my life. Because when you make that type of decision, then you choose the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get married because I knew that I was meant to be a wife. You know, God showed it to me. I knew I was meant to be a wife again. And so, but I wanted to make sure that I had my husband would be my life partner, not just but to have for the sake of having somebody, but that I can really and truly grow with, we can be at peace with, no drama, no cheating, just be happy, like happy. And I would say, like, for people like Latoya and other ladies, like when you get like older, like you want to have somebody, and even for men, you want to have somebody that you can really and truly grow old with. And I say that, like I would say my mom, I don't talk about, stuff like this, but my mom divorced my dad when I was like child too young to remember. And she never had like a long term, she never got married again. And so she done had relationships, but she never got married again. And I wish that she would have, you know what I'm saying, so she can have somebody that help take care of her when she get older, and vice versa to the other person. So this is what I'm saying. When you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s, you want to grow old with somebody that y'all can help each other. Right now, I hurt my toe. So Eddie was my saving grace to take me to the emergency room, help me, to get in there. Also, in turn, I've been his saving grace to help him while he had back issues, and make sure he was had everything he needed, and to see my husband on his knees, and that's the way he slept when his back was hurting, because he could not do anything else. Was, child, it hurt my heart. But I was there to help him. So when you get older, you want to be able to have that support. My husband is my best friend. I talk to him. We communicate. He talks to me. So we, as y'all can see, we out all the time. We going here, we going there. And I think if Latoya had that person, that's her person, not no any random person, because they gonna drain you. You gonna just want to give them back. But that person that she can spend the rest of her life with and grow old together and be able to share moments where she may be missing her father, because your friends are friends, true enough, but they have their own life. And if you and your friend are single and neither one of y'all got nothing going on, y'all really and truly ain't got no kids, or the kids grown, and y'all consider each other as really close friends, then maybe that person is that person. But I just think that, everybody needs somebody. We're not here to be loners. We're here to we're here to have communication with each other. Because why did God create Eve in the Bible? Adam was alone. Adam could not sit up there and just having a conversation with the animals, you know what I'm saying? And they be the companion. No, he said that he made the woman for Adam as a companion. So that's my spiel, y'all. That's my spiel. So anyway, let's move on to Alaina, and she's going to meet Muneera. Now, Muneera wasn't in last episode, honey, and she barely was in this one, honey. But so she was saying, asking her how marriage was and everything, and she was just saying, Alaina was saying there's a total disconnect with them. They, of course, not sleeping in the same room. She said he violated her trust, which to me sound like cheating. But again, we can't say that, because, like I said, it could be trust of, you weren't supposed to talk to this person. Why was you talking to me? You stole money from me, anything like that. But once again, Alaina isn't letting the audience speculate, which is not good. Muneera was talking about her upbringing, and how her mom was a single parent, and her dad, she divorced her dad early, and how they had to come over to the United States for a better life, and how she said there was two families sleeping in a basement, staying in a basement, and she really and truly watched her mom struggle, and that's why she did not want to struggle. She's taking care of her mom today because of all of those things. But she also said too that she don't share a lot. She's not very transparent. She's that friend that She listens, but she don't often share, which is so freaking funny. Because I was, thank God for the young lady that wanted to take me to lunch yesterday. I'm so grateful for her. We actually went to school together, but she's a content creator as well. And her name is Regina. And she talks about on her YouTube channel, she talks now about the workforce and everything like that. And so and I'm gonna tag her, put her in here. But she's super sweet. And she invited me to lunch yesterday because we went to school together, like I said, but we don't remember each other, like we ain't had contact with each other like that. I just know her face from school. And I was telling her in this conversation yesterday, I said, I don't have friends. Like, honestly, I don't. And I don't say that I have acquaintances, people that I may talk to randomly every 6 months or once a year, or text and stuff like that. But I'm talking about a friend that know all the things about me. I don't have that anymore. And I was telling her that, I find myself in conversations with people that are my friend, that they tell me everything, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really give me a space to get to know me. They want me to know all of their deeds, all of their secrets, all of their things, so I can pray about it, so I can encourage them, so I can build them up, so I can inspire them, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not often given that space to be able to share. And if I feel that you don't want to hear, please, no, I'm not going to share. Because at the end of the day, when I do share and I felt like, that didn't make me feel good, I'm not sharing no more. I'm not sharing no more. And I often don't, I don't really have that. I don't really have that. In fact, I had to let a so-called friend go recently because I didn't like the energy of what they were giving out. And at this point in my big grown age, I'm not going to tell you what you have done back and forth. I'm going to let you know this. And if I continue to see a bad pattern, then I'm going to politely and respectfully send you a text message and say this friendship is not going to work. Now, we're talking about a friend that I've known vaguely months, as far as friendship. Now, if we were talking about a friend that I knew for like umpteen years and we had this, that would be different. But if I just been knowing you a few months, child, this ain't, baby, it ain't even that deep, child. Go on with your life. I'm gonna move on, you move on. But I've had friends to really like tell me they're sorry to me for being a bad friend. Two of them. They're also, but most of the behavior never changed. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Let me just go on about my business. And then I've had a friend to really and truly said that they were sorry for ever friending me because of them being in their feelings at that time. And when somebody tell me that, baby, I ain't begging for no friendships. I promise you, I can be a loner. Once, and God showed me that, honey, because I used to felt like I wanted to always talk to somebody, but no, ma'am, sir, I can be a loner because I do my morning meditation every morning, and I go out there and talk to Jesus, God the Father, the Holy Spirit, my ancestors, my little whoever, and I'm going to share that away. If I want to share my husband, I will, but I'm going to share that away. So just know that I don't have to have friends. I can have acquaintances. I can call my mom and say, guess what, blah, blah, blah. I can do all those things. If I want to share my sons, I could call. But I don't have to have friends. And some people need friends. I don't. I'm not her. Her is not me. So I wait until God put people in my life, because people can be very seasonal. I wait until God put people in my life because I ain't begging for no friendships. And when he does, then we see how this go. Now, because I had bad friendships in the past, I'm not scoring. I'm not friendship scoring and say, I never had another friend. Absolutely not. I do not say that because I'm open to friendship, but I just take my time in doing it. And now I learn to set boundaries, because you're not going to do this to me. I'm not going to let you get away with talking this to me. I'm not going to allow you to not support me when I've ultimately supported you. Ultimately, I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me because I never disrespected you. Let's move on. So Ro goes to Chloe's house, and Ro, child, she thinks she pregnant, honey. I was like, but it seemed like she said she got a boyfriend. She got an NBA boyfriend, honey. So hey, I guess they willing and dealing with no protection. So she said that her period late. And what happened was that she Ubered, Uber the pregnancy test, and her daughter saw it, and she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's this?" But she had to tell her daughter, "Oh, girl, that's for a friend." But her daughter was like, "Whatever. I think you the friend." But they do the pregnancy test, and she found out that she's not pregnant, which is good for her. Very good for her. And stuff. But let me tell you something. I like Ro, but I would have to be honest and say Chloe is my favorite. I just think that she's so authentic, she's so real, and I can really see her being a friend. And now, of course, it's television. I don't know what she like in real life, but just judging by what I see on television, I can really see her being a friend. She kind of reminds me of my braider. They look so much alike, so much alike. But she didn't braid these, child. I did these, so don't judge her for this, honey, because this is me, all my hands, child. I'm trying to, ugh. But but yeah, that's who she reminds. But I could see her being a friend because I like her vibe, her energy. She doesn't seem judgy. She seems like she'll tell you the truth, but she has like, I don't know, she has like a compassionate spirit to her. So let's move on to Latoya is on this date with this man, Chad, because he do look like an old man. Now, it's a difference between salt and pepper. Like she said, he got more salt than he do pepper. And he does. And he does. Now, Latoya 35, and I really thought she was older than that. I'm just saying. I'm not sure what it is, but she does look. I don't know if it's how she carry herself or the wigs, but she do look older than that. But compared to both of them, don't look like they would be a match just standing together. He do look like, I don't know how old he was. They may have put his age up there and I missed it, but he got to be in his 50s. Maybe close to 60, not in his early 60s. But he looked like he carried himself well though. As they sitting there talking and having this conversation and stuff, she said she don't typically date men like that look like him. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so as they talk, she was asking him about him. He's self-employed, he's a truck driver. They got that thing in common. Well, of course, business. He said that he didn't spend 60K on his horses. I don't know if his horse was sick or something like that, because she was like, "Child, I would have had to put that horse down because 60K is a lot of money." But he said he talked about his horses. He did a percentage, and she was like, at the end of the day, child, that percentage was almost 110, not really and truly 100. But it seems as though he really valued his horses. I don't know his job or something like that, but I think he said personals like 10%. So he really and truly, I guess, if he got a woman, child, you ain't coming for them horses. Them horses is number one, child. So that's his thing. Well, she said she not into horses, she don't like them. He said, well, this ain't gonna work. He said, oh, this ain't gonna work, child, honey, because you got to be a horse lover to be with me. So they sit there and talk. She was talking about she wants kids. She's 35 years old. She wants at least 3 kids. He was like, 35, and you want at least three? Yeah, I'm with him now. You got to pop them jokers out back to back. Because first you got to get married. You don't have to, but I'm sure you want to get married first, then build a relationship with that man, then have kids. That's probably going to be pushing a good 40, because if you want to build a relationship, get married, and build a relationship with your kids, build a relationship with your man, and then have kids, you're going to be pushing 40. And you talking about three? Okay, girl. But yeah, that date didn't go well. I don't think either one of them too much care for either one of them. Lil Brandon gonna have to do better with them blind dates, child. First of all, you got to know what this girl like, because but she said, yeah, the Banks, his name was Banks. I said, I hope he got a lot of money. Banks, she said, yeah, it's not gonna work. She said, I'm gonna have to withdraw from that. In fact, it's overdraft. I thought that was cute. So now let's move on to Ro is seeing her therapist. And basically in this conversation, she just kind of breaks down the fact that she's always put other people above her. Her boyfriend, of course, he in the NBA, but she says she's dated other basketball players and stuff like that. And she know that they are always stressed during this time. They always have a lot going on. She try not to bother them. I could. I could. I am a all in type of girl. I'm emotionally in tune with my spouse, my mate. I want to know. I want to divulge. I want to have a conversation. I want to converse. I want to talk. I want to talk about my emotions and my needs. I want to talk about, do you still love me? I want to talk about all the things. So I could never date somebody that could not be there emotionally for me, or seasonally emotional. No. So they are really truly emotionally unavailable. So they really truly just don't need to be with one person. They really need to just move around, which a lot of them probably do anyway. Because if I can't talk to you because your head caught up in the game on tonight or in 2 weeks in practice and what you did, I couldn't. So she also said that she puts other people like her children and her friends and everybody else above her. And the therapist said that yeah, because you are empathetic. I think she said because she was an empath. Because she was an empath, that's part of it. But it also comes with these curses, So you got to learn some boundaries. You got to put some boundaries down and stuff. So yeah, because Rose was also saying she didn't even want to tell this man that she was pregnant. Possibly could have been pregnant because she know that it probably could disturb where his mind at right now, and his mind is on his money on his mind. So, but yeah, so Ro breaks down in that therapy session and stuff like that. And again, I can say for me, child, like I said, I find myself in these situations where I feel like I have been that person that has always put people's needs above my own. And most recently, I had to learn to stop doing it. I had to, y'all didn't hear my last podcast. You need to go and listen to where I had to say, I don't give a damn. That was the podcast. Why? Because I had a dream where I said that I don't give a damn. Never, that's not my language. That's not how I talk. That's not what I say to people. That's not even what I say when I'm by myself. But I had to say that I don't give a damn. Because I have always been the sacrifice child where I put my feelings, my emotions, whatever I want below, and I put other people before me. And it's because and it could be part of the people pleasing side of me that used to be, or just that I always feel like other people, ooh, this gonna sound real crazy. But I'm gonna say it. I always feel like other people are weaker than me. Yeah. Ooh, honey, I'm therapizing myself. I felt that other people have been weaker than me in moments. And I go to God for my stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I go to God to pour back into me. But I always felt that certain people around me have been weaker than me and needed my strength and me to encourage them, inspire them in that moment. But even in my weakest moments, I probably wouldn't even trust to go to you because I don't feel like you can handle what I'm about to tell you. And it don't be nothing, but I just don't feel like you can handle what I give you. Dang. Yep. 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 So I'm not all. I also had a conversation with the young lady on yesterday, and I said, one time I had a friend that told me I don't share enough, right? And I told her, it's because I didn't realize I don't do that, but I said, well, it's probably because I don't think that people want to hear what I got to say. And she was like, really? Yeah, I've felt like that for many years, like probably all my life. I didn't feel like people wanted to hear what I had to say. That's probably why I pulled on my comedic side and stuff like that, because I didn't feel like people wanted to hear what I got to say, and people don't really care that much about me as an individual. They just want to know what they can pull from me to use me, not financially, but use me in an aspect of how can I benefit them. They're not looking to see how they can benefit me. It's always been about other people. And maybe that's what I draw to me because I just feel like I just wanted to help the world. And maybe I draw that energy to me. But yeah, different child. Y'all can call me Kourtney child. Y'all call me Kourtney or something else because I'm not doing that no more. I setting boundaries, very leery as hell who come into my space because I'm not depleting energy anymore to people that are so undeserving of it. It takes me, like, I go in and spend my time with God, build myself up spiritually. I'm in a spiritual community that also builds me up. But I do this on my own. So if you can't go in your own space with you and God, meditate, pray, do the things you need to do to build yourself up, why should I pour into you? Unless you're paying me, because I'm a life coach, so you got to pay me for that. Because I'm not gonna do it for free no more. No, no, no. Tired of that bull. I'm tired of that. Tired of it. So in the next conversation, Alaina was talking to Josh about individual counseling and stuff like that. He said that he told her that he would go to couples counseling. But I think he was saying, y'all don't mind doing it, basically. And I know they showed the screen, but he was saying, but first I need to deal with me. So he said that he want to come back in the same room because he don't want their kids to see this. I agree. Child, when them poor children, what did y'all telling them, honey? That's what I want to know. I think I said that on the last video. What the kids say? So she wants him to do the work, and actually show it. But it seems like he supposedly doing the work, but he don't show it. So yeah, so she wants him to do couple counseling and stuff like that so they can be in a better place and space. But he agreed to it and stuff like that. So I don't know, child. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like Alaina fighting for the marriage, and I don't know what he doing because we don't see him much. So I don't know what he doing. But just tell us what he did, child, so we can discern for ourselves. Because if this man cheated on you and y'all been sleeping in separate bedrooms, would you say for months, 7 months? I don't know. That's crazy. And y'all wait until y'all come on TV to do the work. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to say divorce. If a person not willing to change, or they're not showing you that they're going to change, and you begging for them to change, is it really worth it? Who cares that y'all been married 15, 20, 30 years? I always say this. I don't care nothing about the quantity. It's about the quality. That's why when people are like, oh, we've been married 20, 30 years, 40 years, I don't care. I don't look at you as being no saint and no savior of marriage. I don't care. I don't look at you as being, the one that can tell other people about me. I don't, because I know some struggles are up and downs in there. Y'all just chose to stick it out and stay married. But the thing is, what is the quality of that marriage like? Because some people staying together for the sake of the kids, or staying together because they've been together so long and they don't want to disturb assets and all that stuff. Some people staying together but staying in separate rooms, staying together but don't talk. I done seen all them type of marriages, baby. I done seen them all. You talk through the children because you don't want to talk to each other. I done seen all. So I give 2 F's about you been married for a long time. Because when people looked at me in my previous marriage, they was like, oh my gosh, you've been married a long time. I want to say, that ain't got nothing to do with that. Now being married to this man, my husband, that's quality, baby. Now you can look, I know when we first got married, we was talking to other people who've been married a couple of years, blah, blah, blah. And people like, oh, we've been married 30 years. Okay, kudos. How much of that has been happy? Now I'm not judging nobody, because I feel like it is some people that have been happy. But I still don't think that you should flaunt we've been married 15, 20 years. Divorce him. Alaina, if it ain't going to work, y'all get a divorce and build your life with somebody else where you can be married another 15 years with somebody else. And that way, it's quality, baby. It is quality. And you're happy. You don't have to worry about a man misusing your trust. Or being unfaithful, because again, we're assuming that he cheated, y'all. Because you said if he cheated before you got married and you still got married to him, and evidently ain't nothing changed. Because I don't hear y'all talking about you did couples therapy and counseling, anything like that before. So yeah, and I wanted to say this. Like I said, I don't say this. You know what I'm saying? I know, y'all, I've been having, thyroid issues for a while, and sometimes it be a strain for me to talk, because I do have nodules on my thyroids and stuff. So sometimes doing videos back to back, it be really of a strain and stuff. But I'm supposed to be getting the surgery next month. But yeah, so hopefully that will help, because this been going on for a long time, as I'm hyperthyroid. I have hypothyroidism, but the nodules have gotten worse over the last few years. And so I've been having, voice issues. I even noticed that my voice is deeper now, which could have something to do with hormones and all that stuff, whatever. But yeah. So anyway, all right, you guys, on that note, that's all I got. Like I said, this has been good. And since one person told me that they like, this side of me, and I share a little more because I started to share a little more. So anyway, that's why this video is so long. I will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to go God and let God go with you, and always put God first. Deuces.
Hey!